Hello, everybody. My name is Lauren Bryn. I'm the Assistant Commissioner of the MIAA, and I'm very excited to be here today with Maddie Reynolds from Albion. Maddie, how are you today?
I'm good.
Good. Good to hear. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Maddie Reynolds. I'm a junior here at Albion and I play volleyball. I'm originally from Marshall, Michigan, and I recently just transferred to Albion from Lake Michigan College.
Obviously, you haven't had too much time within the MIAA, but you have had some matches already. So what has been your favorite part so far about competing in this conference?
Just how competitive it is and how everyone's out to get you every day, no matter what your record is or who you're competing against. They just want to give you, as our coach would say, the best match of every game. And I definitely think the favorite rivalry would be Hope.
What made you choose Division III? What drew you to it in the first place?
Honestly, it would be the communication I had with the coaches right away and the fact that I had 3 or 4 girls from high school here, and it gave me another opportunity to be able to play with them.
You're super busy between volleyball and your studies, but what hobbies do you have outside of that?
I like to take walks with my dog, hang out with my family and friends, and really just explore. I like to adventure out and see new things.
So your coach mentioned that you were diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma your sophomore year, but you have since beat it. Wonderful news. Walk me through your journey with that.
So it all started my sophomore year of high school, and I found a lump on my neck and told my parents, they're like, okay, we'll watch it. Well, then I would wake up every night and I'd be like drenched in sweat and would have really bad like itching on my legs. So after one of my AAU tournaments at volleyball, my parents were like, okay, it's time to um, go to the hospital and get some tests done. So it was on a Sunday when we realized it was really bad. So we had to go to an urgent care. And the urgent care was pretty good at first, but they were giving me a bunch of different options of what it could be. So I wasn't exactly like sure what it could be. And then we went to the hospital the next day and they did some tests. And then I'll always remember it was the game at Penfield during basketball season. And I was feeling a little weird because my parents were like, oh, you're not going to ride the bus home today. We're going to go home and have a talk. So I was like, well, I think I know what happened here. And then my basketball coach from high school, actually, her son had the same cancer that I had. So after the game, my parents told her, and she came back in the gym crying. So I was like, well, I think at this point, I know what it is. So then I went home and obviously got told that that's what it was, and it was Hodgkin's lymphoma, and that basically we were going to start my treatments within the next week at U of M at Mott's Children's Hospital.
With your coach having been through a similar situation with her son, how did that kind of help you get through it as well?
They were just super supportive. They actually lived right down the road from us too. So if there was ever a day that I was like not feeling well in the morning and was like feeling a little better to go to school in the afternoon, like she was the first person that would sit there and be like, okay, I'll take you to school. Like you sleep in that way, like you don't feel. So she was really supportive, and I don't think I could have asked for anything more just because it was nice having a family that had been through the same thing, just because like all of the support meant a lot, but having a family that went through it made it a lot easier to talk to them and ask them questions about certain things.
You mentioned that you played basketball, obviously, you played volleyball, but you were a three-sport athlete, correct?
Yes.
So, what was the other sport?
Soccer.
Okay. So, how were you able to juggle three sports, academics, and just everything else that you were going through?
Unfortunately, I had to miss out on when I got diagnosed, I had to miss out on my second half of basketball season, and then I missed pretty much all of soccer season my sophomore year, just because I had a PIC line in my arm, which was where my treatment went in. So it was too much risk to try and play those sports because it could be yanked out of my arm, and obviously that wouldn't be very good. I was able to do more stuff and at least be able to practice, not really compete, but I was able to practice a little bit. Um, and I think the other thing was my teachers were very, very understanding. And if there was a time that I wasn't able to get all of my work done, they would sit there with me after school and they would stay with me and make sure that I felt like I wasn't behind, just so that it wasn't overwhelming me on top of everything else that I was going through. So that was really helpful. And then once I beat it, I think the only way I really like juggled it all was a lot of late nights. Getting home from practice or games or being in basketball and playing AAU volleyball, like it just made for a lot of late nights to be able to keep up the good grades that I was containing.
Did you notice your career as an athlete, helping you through the recovery process at all?
Yeah, I think being so young and active actually helped me a lot in my recovery process. Just because I've always played those three sports, so like it wasn't like anything. The only bad thing was that it wasn't at that time, I wasn't able to keep the shape I was in just because I really didn't have any motivation. But I would definitely say being in those sports definitely helped with my recovery process.
You mentioned that you went to Lake Michigan College, correct?
Yes.
How have you adjusted since transferring from there to Albion?
I think I've adjusted pretty well. Albion's pretty close to home, so if I ever need to go home for a good laundry session or just want to see my family, it's not that far away. But my team has made it very easy to be able to adjust to things here. We're all like a big family and they're always there for you no matter what the situation is. So they've made it very easy to be able to adjust here, and they don't make you feel like you're a newcomer. They already make you feel like you've been here the same amount of time that they have.
I like closing out each interview with kind of a fun question. So we are in the middle of fall right now. So what is your favorite fall activity?
I'd say my favorite fall activity is carving pumpkins.
Great. I love it. Well, thank you for taking the time to speak with me today, and best of luck to you and your team the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.